Wait, hold on. There we go. Background music! Uchuchuu! Boko wa Myobitan desu. Yoroshichu! Ah! I'm waving. You can't tell I'm waving, but I'm waving. I'm gonna make myself a little bigger. Whoa! Uchuchuu! Uchuchuu! I got a blanket on my lap and a song in my heart. Which really doesn't mean anything. Actually, I might be overheating a bit. Oh. How are you, my stars? My beautiful twinklies. How are you? How are you? Oh. Got a bit of lag in my model today. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe I should turn this down a little. Let's see, who are our early birds? Let's see, we have Dogtooth, we have Beepsies, we have Holly's dad, Uchuchuu, welcome in! Actually, I might actually have to take off my sweatshirt. I was chilly before, and now I'm warm. Sweatshirtint, like N''T? Short. No. Anyway, this is who I managed to put together. Cause it's like the same thing with like asking like what's your favorite song, or if you get handed the aux cord to like put some songs on. It's like you can't. All of a sudden you forget all the songs you've ever heard, and not because it's like you don't listen to music and you don't have favorites, but you know it's like usually only the more recent stuff comes to mind immediately. So we got a mixture of different characters who are favorites for like different reasons. Some series I have multiple favorites from, but I didn't include them. Others I have multiple favorites from, and I did include them. Can always do part 2. True. Yeah. Well, I figure I'm also going to rename the tier list into different corresponding categories. Because, you know, you have favorite characters for, like, different reasons. Some have, like, a personal bond. Like, not to spoil, but Choco Cat, I have, like, a personal bond with because he was on my school folders way back in the day. And he was, like, the only folder I had that was nice. And so now I have, like, a personal bond with Choco Cat. Others are, you know, you're like, this is my husbando/waifu, which it's very, very hard to get into that tier. And then I think, well, I won't explain too much. We'll explain as we go through the list. I also have a second internet window ready to toggle so that if we want to take a look at the characters a bit more, I can open that up and I can go to good old Google Images and point. Oh, actually, on top of that, do I have... Oh, I might not have it anymore. Do I have a pointy stick? Do I have a pointy stick? Oh, this'll work. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I have to have it somewhere here. Maybe I don't. Bah. Ah! Stop. Okay. Hide that. And meh. Hold on. I'm good at what I do. You can tell I've been doing this for 5 years. Well, almost 5 years. Not quite a pointy stick, but it is pointing, so. Too big! Tatsunoko Uchuchuu! Hold on. So if I bring up characters, then I can point to charm points like this. Myobi is stored in the Myobi. Right here. Realistic human. Yeah, whose is that? I have it as some stock imagery I have for... Oh gosh, was that the hand I used for our first anniversary promo trailer? I think it might have. Why are you doing capturing that, huh? Goofy. Goofy! Not my hand. But yeah, I just figured this was, you know... It's still obviously kind of a just chatting stream. But, you know, I figured I could also be like blah, 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 blah. And talk about some of my favorite characters and some franchises that maybe you guys haven't heard of. And they kind of got all just mixed together. So, I guess we'll go one by one. Yap time. I hope my yap muscles warm up because my brain just feels like it's turned off. Click. Which is no good. Hold on, I'm gonna make... I'm readjusting things. I'm making things smaller. Oh, come on. Try to do my best so I can have like the secondary window, but I can still see you guys. You'll see your face lock in, don't worry. I always worry. But, okay, I think... How should I start? I know some categories that are going to be right away. Hello? Ah, so the very top one is going to be husband. That's my secret stars. I have an anxiety disorder. I'm going to make the second tier Oshi. Category 1 breed. No! Oh, can I just type it there? I don't have to. Okay. Wasn't doing it before. Let's see. That's my child. I think underneath that, which very close would be beloved child-in-law. So you're married to my kid, and I love you very much. But I think there is like a minor distinction. This one should be succubus, and that goes up higher. Hold on, I wanna make these different colors. I need to add a new one. Add a row below. Oops. Best boy / girl. Nice clicky sound. That's just my keyboard. Cause like they're my favorite and they're just objectively the best. Meaning like to be friends with them, I would love to hang out with them. They are the best in their series. Like the series they're from. We'll add more as we go. Oh, there was one I wanted to put let's see, add a row above. Irreparably changed me. Did I spell that wrong? Irreparably. Because there's some characters who are... They're up there, and like there's not... I feel like this has to go beneath like Husband and Oshi, because Husband and Oshi are characters that irreparably changed me, but there's also some characters that irreparably changed me that... that aren't like Husband or Oshi, but some of my children I feel like also, oops, qualify under that, so hold on. Ah! Huh? Why? There's gonna be some overlap. Yeah. That's inevitable. So I'm trying to... Should be little guy. That's just my little guy. I know I didn't end up including all the characters. Like, I don't even know why I like you, but I do. No, I think a Repubui Change Me should be above That's My Child. Yeah. I feel like Succubus should be even above that. Okay. Like Gundramon? Yeah, like, I don't know why I like you, but I do. I think Gundramon would fit under that. Also, I didn't include Gundramon in this list. I'm a fraud! Sorry. But I'll start with, first is definitely Best Girl. Which, I feel bad that the thing is so low here, because it has this implication that I'm no love, but I'm do love. Ishiki. Had him down. We'll get there! We have 65 characters to get through first! But Shiki Misaki from The World Ends With You. Also known as Subarashi Kono Sekai. The world is beautiful. The world is wonderful. What a wonderful world. There's not a better or worse, yeah. These are all characters I like, so there's none that are here that are like, fuck you. You know? But let me get, like... So you can see better. Twirly reference! Oops, I might have to... Hold on. Hold on. I wish I could minimize this before... Alright, we're gonna just look away for like a second, okay, guys? Nope. Oh no! Did it? It cut. It mostly cut. Let's go. I'm not stupid. This is Shiki! She is Best Girl! She's from The World Ends With You! And that's Mr. Mew with her! Oops, and then she got cut off in the... Okay, hold on. There she is! So she's your first partner on the first week of the game, and I do suggest... This is one of my favorite games of all time. And if possible... I would say try to play it on its original hardware, which is the Nintendo DS. There is a remake, Final Remix, that's available for the Switch, which I do own, which is nice because not only does it offer different gameplay styles, which makes some of the gameplay a lot easier because it's a very hard learning curve, but it also adds in story elements from the app game version, which has long since shut down. But they include it in the Final Remix, which is nice. And then there was a sequel that came out many years later, and it's fine. But I definitely the first game is very, very, very good. At least I think so. It's very character-based. I don't want to spoil things too much, but I'd be very happy if you watched my... Not watched my... There is an anime adaptation, which I still have to watch more of, but, like, obviously, it's a game. It's meant to be played as a game. Please play The World Ends With You. Hap, 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 hap. Play Twirly so you can grow up and learn some emotions. It's not about mattering. Yes. All the protagonists are 15 years old, and I feel like all 15-year-olds should be given a copy of The World Ends With You. But yes, she's very sweet, she's very helpful, she's the one who gets the main character to open up. She has her own problems. obviously. But by the end of it, you would die for her. I would die for her. I would die for Shiki. And I have. No. She's a real one! And I love her. Yes. Alright. Second on our big list of favorites. Different video game. But this, he goes in a husband tier, is Takumi from Fire Emblem Fates. Husband. I adore him. And will die for Shiki's cat? Yeah. Uchuchuu! Come on in! But Takumi from Fire Emblem Fates, he's a prince, he's tsundere, he has self-destructive tendencies, and he's a really good archer. Let me Fates Takumi. I have like a special edition magazine that just featured him. That was like the whole focus was him. He's my favorite. I have all his cipher cards. Ah, sweet smile! Sweet smile! He's so cute! The rice turned out. What? How's that possible? I put in beans. That means because I'm the one that did the rice. Ah, man. What's your love story? Well, we didn't get along at first, which tends to happen, it seems, with husband type characters for me. Soon meet soon. And I don't have as much of a story as like I do for Phyllis, because I feel like Fire Emblem is a bit more structured, but he just has a lot of the qualities that I tend to be very weak towards. And of course, for husband tier is different than like succubus or crush tier, because, well, husband tier, I get the feeling that they would like me back. You know? Cause like, I could be very attracted to a character. And have like a crush on them, but if I don't feel they'll like me back, then they don't make it to husband tier. Husband tier is special. Husband tier is special. Cause I feel like if this person was real, they would like me. Even if that's very embarrassing. But Takumi, you know, despite his prickly nature, because he's called a pineapple, he has a good heart and he cares about his family. He's just really bad at, because of the environment he was raised in. You know, he has a hard time communicating his feelings. He has this idea of what a prince should be, you know, manly and in command, not swayed by emotion, and it ends up just, you know, kind of backfiring on him. But you help him open up and be more trusting. And he's a really good unit in game, too. He's got to be one of the best archers I've ever had the glory to have in any of the Fire Emblem games I've played. They put in the store. I can't believe that it's already been an hour for the rice. Hey, Uchuchuu! But yes, I big love Takumi. I married him in my Fire Emblem Fates game, and our two children are on this tier list that we will get to later, Kana and Kiragi. But we have two beautiful little boys. And I love them. I love him. It's like on my old eBay wish list even. It's really far back there, but there's even a replica of the Fujinumi, his bow, that I had on wish list. It was like $280 kind of thing, but it was just like, if there's official Takumi stuff, I try and get it, you know, because there isn't a lot. happens a lot with like a lot of Fire Emblem characters unless they're like the poster character. But like, he's my favorite. And he's so cool. And he has depression like me. So exhausted to me. Well, come take it easy. Come and get comfy. And let me tell you about favorite characters. Alright, now. I guess these technically aren't characters, the Pokemon ones, but at the same time. Skitty! Pumpkin Skitty! That's my child. That's my baby. That's my baby. Back in Gen 3, where Skitty first came from, so that's Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but I used to have like the unofficial strategy guide. And I got for a little while really into Pokemon breeding. But in particular, I bred Skitties. I bred lots and lots of Skitties. And I kept them all. I didn't like trade them away. I kept them all. I don't know why. I feel kind of embarrassed by this because it's dumb. But I named them all like something baby. So there'd be like Sky Baby, Cloud Baby, Rain Baby. And that's how I named all the Skitties. And I had multiple who were offspring of Skitty and Pikachu, so they knew Thunderbolt. But I was trying really hard to get a Skitty with Tickle. But I never managed it because I never had the right partner for them. But yeah, I had a ton of Skitties. I absolutely love them. They're so round and pink and round and cat. And I love Skitty. I love Skitty, and I love them so much that I wish that they could be more viable in playthroughs. Especially because, like, I like Delcatty, but I like Skitty more. So I would want to just not evolve my Skitty. I just want a super powerful Skitty. I want to say Skitty 3 more times. Skitty, 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 Skitty. That was 4. I can't count. Skitty! I have a Skitty plush on my bed right now, in fact. I love Skitty! And when in the TCG, Skitty finally came out, it wasn't even like the Rainbow Rare card, it's like Skitty's a normal card, but I opened up the first Skitty, I was like, yeah! Dude, I just love Skitty! I would trade just about anything just to have more Skitty. I just love Skitty. That's peak adorableness. I love when they use assist and like, ooh, you're just so happy. Skitty fever! Let me get my curry. Be made delicious curry. Okay, I'm gonna walk away for just a second. Bee's real, so she doesn't get to be on the tier list. But let me tell you, this curry smells so good. I do have, obviously, you'll see 2 VTubers. Because they're playing a character, you know? They're 50% real, 50% fictional, so they count. You know? They count. Curry is like a succubus. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, look how many nice and chunky potatoes. Ah, I love curry. I love curry. Oh yes, I love Skitty. I love Skitty. I love Skitty. They're my baby. They're my baby. Okay, next is Apare. he almost fits. That's my child, but I feel like a Blorbo is more accurate. Hold on. You're my— Hey, Joe! Special little guy. Blorbo. Cause sometimes there's just little guys who are like their own unique category. And I feel like Apare goes under special little guy. Cause like I don't view him as my baby. He's not my child. He's a grown-ass man. But he's interesting. I want to study him under a microscope, but he's also fun and I care him. And I love his design. And let me hold on. Let me pull up. Apare Ranman. It is an anime series. Just like his like kabuki style makeup, but he's whoop. Yeah. Behold my boy. Apare Ranman was about 12 episodes long. It came out in 2020, and I did a whole presentation on it earlier in my VTuber career. And if you haven't watched it yet, you should. I definitely recommend it in the Japanese rather than the English dub, because the English dub, they kind of pushed out a bit too quick. So the characterization stuff isn't, and like the voice acting isn't, they didn't give the voice actors enough time. Because like all the voice actors are good voice actors, but like they kind of become different characters in the English dub. Which might work for some people, but I like them as they are. Yeah, he's a cute little engineer. And it's all about a cross-country race from West Coast to East Coast in North America in the 1890s? Him and Kosume's on this list too. Because they got... well, there's a whole thing. Well, they got like shipwrecked. And then they ended up in America. Well, they got picked up and then ended up in America. And they want to win the cross-continental race so they can get money to go back home to Japan. Hold on, I'm trying to eat this good. SBR? Wait, what? Ha, ha, ha. Steel Ball Run? I have heard that that's the plot of Steel Ball Run. Is a cross-continental. I gotta wait for this curry to cool down a bit. I'm getting too... But I haven't seen Steel Ball Run or read it. But I do love Apare Ranman. And it just... I guess the whole series itself has like a special place in my heart. Because... You know, it started coming out around the time when the pandemic happened. And so it got stuck on hiatus, which really shot down any of its chance of really getting known. But me and B were really, really depressed one night. And we were just like, we just gotta watch something. Just find some anime. And we found out that, because this was later in 2020. But we found out that, that show we had started watching, it has more episodes out now. And so we started watching it. And it turns out that that was also on the same day that the final episode was put up. And it ended up being very, very sweet, very heartfelt, very cute. It's not like super fancy or the best thing ever, but it's fun. I like it. And it brought a smile to my face when I was having a hard time smiling, and then me and B make up like 50% of the English-speaking fandom for it. But I'd be very happy if you watch Apare Ranman. It's cute. It's cute. An anime for an anime fan. Yeah. It's wacky, but it's cute. And it has a good heart. Chloe. Man, now I'm just gonna be distracted by curry. Yummy, yummy, Chloe. You made this so fast. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, put it down, Alright. Special, I I'd count this special little guy as also my wretched little guy. Because he is wretched. But I think he's special little guy. Gen Asagiri was 1 hour, but thanks. That's still fast for Curry. Gen Asagiri from Dr. Stone? I mean, I don't know how many of you have actually watched Dr. Stone? Like, even just the first season. Oh. I want to see him writhe. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah! Goofy Goober hours. I abandoned the manga. Damn. Unfortunate. Yeah! He is the quote-unquote mentalist. He is a flim-flammer, a fraud, a charlatan. He's a really good liar. But he ends up being on the good guy side, and he makes for really great dynamics with people. I also like how he talks like a Gyaru. It's cute. Mango! And just, I don't know. He adds a lot of the comedy to it, but also unexpectedly he brings out a lot of heart because it's in that way of like characters that are deceptive, like the whole forward-facing personality being deceptive, but then when they do something genuinely sweet, but they don't really bring attention to it, it's very, I don't know, that hits you right in the feels. Like he had that observatory built for Senku, and that's like, that's so sweet. They changed it to Piglet in the dog. Sure, why not? He wanted to, that's all he wanted. He wanted to enjoy a nice bottle of Coke again. You know, because it technically didn't exist anymore. I pick him up, yeah. And just watch him wiggle, kind of uselessly. Also, the fact that he always ends up getting like all these hard tasks assigned to him by Senku is funny because he's not like the most physically active person. Ah, why? But so his reactions are very good. His reactions are very good. Soak him and milk him, throw him against the wall. Yeah. So he also feels like he kind of falls into that best boy category. But I think special little guy Blorbo fits him well. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe distinction. Hot. I just want to eat this curry. Stop being hot. Now, what? I don't probably have to zoom in for you guys because you'll know this character, but also a higher resolution artwork won't really like give you anything more because Homestuck, Cardcat Vantis. That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my favorite character in Homestuck, and that's my baby. That is my baby boy. And if anything happens to him or anyone's mean to him, I'll fucking kill you. That's a good one, baby cut. Yeah. Myobitan, what the hell is Homestuck? So, it's an online webcomic called Homestuck that was started back in the 2010s. Or even probably before 2010, now that I'm thinking about it. By Andrew Hussey. Oh no, Karga! No, he's fine! He's okay! He's fine! He just tripped a little. The lava didn't even hurt him. But me and Cardcat share the same class spect, which is class and aspect, which is Knight of Blood, which was not intentional, but it was interesting that it came out that way. I do see a lot of myself in Cardcat in a lot of ways, and I think that ends up being a lot of characters that are like, that's my child, is that I'll see myself in them some way, or I see them struggling in a way I have, and I want things to work out for them. Because sometimes those things don't work out for me, and so it's like, I want to make it better for this character. You know? That's my child. I'm gonna give them the better life that I didn't have, kinda. It's almost like a kind of a self-love, but through loving of a character in a way. You know? Very roundabout way, because I can't just like myself directly. But he works so hard, he tries to be a leader, and no one listens to him, even when he's right. And he does what he thinks is best for everybody, but the fact that he just can't get anyone to listen to him, and of course he gets mad. Homestuck was a mind virus that spread in the early 2000s. Yes, we were all part of a cult for a little time. If you were into Homestuck, you were part of a cult for a little while. Like, people don't like to admit to it, but all Homestuck people were part of a cult for a little while. That is how it was. Chloe. Yeah, but Clarket's my child. I even had a dream way back in the day, which kind of solidified the feeling of where I was taking care of, like, a baby Clarket. And I became, like, he was just a little grub. And I became just so overwhelmed with, like, maternal affection. As, like, I think in the dream they tried to pull him away from me, and I just started crying. I was like, that's my baby! You know, and... well, Homestuck is that hotels hated Homestuck. Yeah, there was a lot of Homestuck cosplayers who didn't know what they were doing. I've done the gray makeup before. There really isn't an excuse for why you should be getting all your... Also, everyone slept on pancake makeup. Like, I used Paradise pancake makeup. That was the brand, Paradise. It's water-based. And, like, you put it, and then you let it dry, and then you put another layer, and then you can seal that shit up with, like, baby powder. Not only is it way kinder on your skin, because it's not oil-based, it's water-based, but also, it comes out of things very easily. It's not greasy. You don't get it on stuff. And no matter who I told about this, they were just like, well, I'm going to use the Ben Nye. And I'm like, well, then you are a fool. You're a fool. Paradise pancake makeup. I don't even know if they're still around, but I've always vouched for them. One little thing of that could last you, like, multiple runs of a cosplay. And it looked better than Ben Nye, which always, because inherently it was greasy, Ben Nye always was gonna look greasy. People always forget the pancake makeup. You're gonna be putting in the same amount of work applying it either way. Might as well get one that's kinder to you and your surroundings. And then make sure you seal that shit up! People are always forgetting to consult the clowns. History repeats itself. So at least with my pancake makeup, baby powder can help seal that up. But also, you want to mist your areas that you applied with like a makeup fixative. Temp hairspray color on her skin. I know which sister it is, and I mean, this is also the same sister who hot glued her cosplay to herself, so... Not even for the same cosplay, not Homestuck cosplay, different cosplay, but like... That's just where we're at. I mean, I can't even judge too much. I realized when I was doing a Miku cosplay, I didn't have the means, I didn't have like the eyeshadow Miku colored eyeshadow, so I used nail polish to make my eyebrows the right color. And I've also used Sharpie as makeup before. So, we all make decisions. We all make decisions. I think I've heard of people that I never had. I just knew I had Miku colored nail polish. Because you don't really think about... I didn't have a lot of makeup back when I did that. Like, just in general. Like, I enjoyed cosplaying, but it wasn't like I was good at it. But I definitely just... I didn't have a lot of makeup in general. And I was so excited, but, like, when you put it all on and then you realize how different your eyebrows are compared to, like, the wig, it feels... I already didn't look great, so it felt worse. So it's like, okay, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna try and fix what we can. Old school cosplay hacks on it. Yeah. Just hot glue the costume to your body. You'll take it off at the end of the day. Don't pee. Just don't pee. Like, you never have to pee. We were all just crazy. I mean, we're still kind of crazy. Well, it allows stupid cosplay mistakes because most of the people doing it were amateurs. Yeah. Yeah, because the madness is stored within me. But yeah, it was very easily accessible cosplay. And you could even make it fancy if you want to. Storm Uchuchuu! Welcome! But for a lot of people, it was their first kind of cosplay or even convention experience, which led to a lot of other difficulties of, like, people who had never been to, like, an anime convention. And Homestuck wasn't, like, technically anime, you know? But there wasn't really a fitting convention for Homestuck otherwise. But there was a lot of people who'd never been in that space before who didn't really know the etiquette. And, like, it's important to be patient with people for the first time learning, especially when they're younger. But there was a lot of frustrating aspects about it that it's, like, before I got into Homestuck, it was just like, can the Homestuck people, like, get their shit together a little, please? I'm trying to get to a panel and I can't get through this crowd of like, Homestuck cosplayers. I thought the Myobitan was stored in you? Okay. Myobitan is stored here. Madness is stored here. Wakateru? Where's the brain? Here. Here. The Ohoge? That is where the brain is stored. Hey, wait a minute! Big stinky brain stored in a Ohoge. My heart-shaped Ohoge. I want to clip that second, but well then I guess you're just gonna have to do it manually. Alright, next I have, and this is Saber class Astolfo. Right. Boop, there. This is Saber class Astolfo, but I love all Astolfo. It's just I happen to have this really nice cropped version of Saber Astolfo already ready to go. And I'm not sure if... I mean, he is best boy, but he has kind of irreparably changed me in some way. But I feel like there was characters that kind of started the cracks in the dam. And Astolfo just kind of finalized it. Maybe not even finalized, but you know, funny stuff like, yeah. But he is best boy. And you should respect him, and people should stop thinking that he's some sort of, like, hentai character. Like, you could be attracted to him, but the fact that I think he changed you, I do think he probably changed me. I love the guy. Yeah, he's a quick sword user, like, quick meta. Very strong overlap, very strong overlap. But I can't help but feel frustrated. Can I just be a little bit of a freak? Can I be a little... am I in a safe space to be a little bit of a freak? And a little bit of an opinionated freak? This curry is really good. I was more of an arts girly, but I did like when I could put together a quick team. Give me a freak jump. Freddy Freak Bear. Okay, listen. I've loved femboys, Otokonical, since before Astolfo. You know? Long time. I have my veteran's cap. Oh, that's right. I've been here. And I do love Astolfo very much. There's a lot I like about him. There's a lot I know about him. And while I am glad he's popular, because that means there's more content, there's more like merchandise and things like that. It's okay, welcome back, Sukuna. I think some of the people don't deserve Astolfo. Some of you are horny to the point of that's not even Astolfo. That is just like a hentai blob that you put a pink wig on. Because it doesn't act like Astolfo. It's usually drawn in such a way that it no longer looks like Astolfo. Okay, does better than it. Damn! Don't say that to Beepsies! She loves Nobunaga! Goon posers. And this is such a... As someone who is a connoisseur of femboys, if you're gonna draw hentai art of Astolfo, don't just... Yeah, not there. If you're gonna draw hentai art of like Astolfo or any femboy, I'm gonna need you to stop micro-shrinking their schmeat. I get it. You're scared to be gay. So you give any male character that's slightly feminine the smallest penis possible. But I'm gonna need you to knock it off and man up! Give him the Monster Can energy drink! It's always this... It's always the... Yeah, I love femboys, but they want these, like, femboys who are like, super wide-hipped, thick-thighed, and no dick, constantly slobbering horny bottoms. It's like, you want a hentai trope. You don't love femboys. You just want a hole. They deserve it. I'm telling you, yes, you get it! Like, someone that I ended up becoming, like, I regularly talked to found my art because I drew, Astolfo in Nero's bride outfit, but I actually gave him his bulge, like he deserves. And apparently, in the grand scheme of, like, Astolfo fan artists, that's not something that people do a lot. It's like, you don't understand what's good about femboys. If you have to, like, essentially, like, backwards engineer women in order for you to be attracted, you're not enjoying a femboy. That picture's still one of your best ones? Put them on. I won't put it now, but thank you. I don't even know if I have it on this computer. Like, part of the joy of femboys is the feminine on the boy, and that's not saying, like, your junk is what makes you what gender you are, but, like, when you're doing representing something visually, you need to balance it out. Otherwise, just draw girls. If you want to draw something with wide hips and no penis and no chest, just draw a flat-chested girl. Yeah, I'm a big wine connoisseur, but sometimes I water it down because it's too... Some of you self-proclaimed femboy enjoyers don't deserve femboys. I'm the gatekeeper. I decide if you're worthy. And some of you absolutely sleep on the idea of, like, a femboy wearing a suit. That's adorable. Also, the word femboy has, like, gotten so overused for characters that aren't even femboys. You have characters that are bochamas. You know, classic bochamas. And all of a sudden they get called a femboy because what? They have eyelashes? Fuck you. You don't know what a femboy... And like any twink or bishonen gets thrown into femboy, it's like, that's not a femboy. I'm reading the ingredients. I'm looking for something specific at the grocery store and you're mislabeling. What if I have allergies, huh? Preposterous. People would call Shiel a femboy. They would. And, like, he's not. But also, I feel like they would just see the bit where he was undercover and had that beautiful dress. And they would just be, like, sold. Like, if a character wears a dress or skirt once, or at all even, all of a sudden they're like a femboy, and it's like, that's not true! Shiel and Venti are the same gender. Pretty much. They're the bochama. They're the bochama. They're not femboys. I'm sick and tired of this. Like, at first I was really happy because it's like, for a long time I didn't really have there wasn't really vocabulary in an English-speaking sense for find characters that I liked, that otokonoko. And even then, with otokonoko, a lot of times they end up being like hentai tropes rather than characters. Femboy power, we should. Femboy's a lifestyle, exactly. Femboy's a mentality. You're a femboy if you hold cuteness in your heart. All right? That's an important part. It's holding cuteness in your heart. In a million tutorials, you need to use your platform to spread awareness of all the property. Honestly, it feels like it's kind of like we're losing a lot of it. And like, I understand why otokonoko doesn't really, that's a lot, and also because it's kind of like a Japanese play on words. But I was really glad at first when we had something that was used a lot like femboy, because then it made it a lot easier to find like characters and content that I enjoyed, you know? It's like me content, things from Myobis. But then it got so over-applied to everything. And then also everyone just got so horny about Astolfo. Like, I don't know how, but some guys are horny about Astolfo in the way only a cis heterosexual man could possibly be. And I'm tired of it. And they almost went fair out, Professor. Listen, Professor, you need an actual, you need like someone with a master's degree in this, and that's me. That's me. Need to clip this rant, yo, so real. Mm-hmm. There are, of course, the two camps of femboy, which are... Okay, we'll hide it. The two camps of femboy who are like... the boys who know how they're presenting, that they present in a very feminine way. And there's those who are unaware that they present femininely. And both are valid and femboys, but there is a very unique kind of structure to either of those, you know? And you can't just apply it to, oh, well, this guy is cute, so he's a femboy. No, that's not how that works. It's about having those effeminate features. And that doesn't always mean effeminate features of, like, they have really wide hips, which seems to be the only thing for some people, is really wide hips. And I'm like, come on! This is nothing! But, like, it could be in mannerisms. Like, maybe they stand very politely. They're, like, very delicate with how they handle things. Maybe it is that they have very big eyes, like long eyelashes, longer hair, things like that. Maybe it's a collaboration of these things, even if they don't notice it themselves. But, you know, it's more refined than just, you know, a hentai trope or man wear lipstick kind of thing, you know? Which, again, I hate the cheapening of these things. Conspiracy of feminine features, yes. Because there are femboys who look more boyish, which are fantastic, but they still kind of fit that otokonoko type. And then, of course, there's ones that sway a lot heavier into the I thought you were a girl territory, which is a common trope you see a lot. But, like, you can't just put any... I think what's notable is it's a smokescreen for guys who don't want to admit that they are not as straight as they think they are. Of, like, yeah, this guy's cute and everything, and I'd fuck him, but, like, he doesn't even really count as a guy, you know? This doesn't even really count as a man, which is things I've seen people say. And it's like, weak. You're weak! You don't deserve femboys! He's not gay because, like, I'm the top and, like, he doesn't even, like, count as a man because he's pretty or whatever. They just want to have sex and not think about anything ever. I don't know. Horny people just suck. Like, the people who get so horny that they just... You're cum-brained! Get out of here! It really depends on the demeanor and the character's feelings towards that. Yeah! Or just how they have, not even their own gender sometimes, but just the societal role of gender or gendered things. Like, Astolfo just dresses how he wants to. And, like, they play part of that joke as, like, because he has lunacy. That's one of the traits he has from going to the moon. But it really fits well with his personality and sense of freedom and what being a knight, like, how he defines it. And in his original source material, it's not played as a sexual thing, you know? He's not on the prowl. He's just Astolfo. I'm personally a fan of seeing the very clearly masculine ribcage torso shape on femboys. Like how the waist placement is lower than on females. Yes! I love... And this is one thing. I love putting men in pretty clothes, obviously. And they can be of whatever body type, but there is... I do love juxtapositions and things. I find them more endearing and charming. But with so many, like, quote-unquote effeminate clothes that have frills and ruffles, they have this design shape or sense that is meant for someone with maybe more curves and everything, while a traditionally more masculine body tends to be more angular. Flat, angular and things. And I just think that the lace and the ruffles on top of that, on top of all those, like, what would be harder angles, especially if they're shy about it, that's so cute! That's so cute! Gatboy, yes! It's like seeing a really curvy woman in, like, a three-piece tuxedo. That shit's peak. That shit's just good. In general, fashion companies gotta make more femme clothes tailored for mass... Yes. I'm sorry, but for those who have not become enlightened individuals like me, I hope you get well soon someday. GNC's the best CZ life could offer. Why limit to yourself to only some flavors when you can have all the flavors the world has to offer? Why limit yourself when you can have your favorite flavors in, like, your clothing? I think also personally there's this thing of how I like a lot with femboys of like with Estoffel, it's this expression of masculinity. Rather than it being like a gender role, it's more of like a mentality. Not that he describes it as one, but I would say that Estoffel has a more masculine personality, which is what I think makes it so cute with how it was cute appearance. Because he's a knight. He believes in doing the right thing, you know? He won the Holy Grail War. But I think if I describe something as manly or masculine, then it would be not, oh, dude, how much can you bench? And how many women have you slept with? Or whatever garbage alpha male bullshit. I feel like masculinity is more about being brave and strong for people who can't be brave or strong for either themselves or their situation. Like, you might be scared, but you have the courage to stand up and do the right thing. You know? That's masculine. That's manly. And I like that with, like, femboys like Estoffel, or even Felix from ReZero, both being knights, you know? Like, it doesn't matter how you dress, or if you're cute, or anything like that, but that you're a good person, you know? And that you want to do right by people around you. Just because it's the right thing. That's manly. That's manly. Would genderfuck be an apt description for Estoffel? I suppose, I think, what was it, in FGO, the app game, I believe it's just, underneath gender, it's just none. And then there's the original trio, which is, Chevalier Daon, Estoffel, and Enkidu, who are the non-gendered trio. Gender teehee! And I, of course, am fans of all of them. I don't know. I guess part of it's also frustration of, like, you're depicting a character I enjoy just because you are horny. And you've changed them and, like, altered them just because you are horny, and I can't help but... obviously, I'm not going to engage with it. I'm not going to make a big stink about it. I'm not an asshole, but I'm allowed to complain on my part of the internet. I'm allowed to be like, meh. You guys don't deserve Estoffel. Me and my figure, Estoffel figure, and my other figure, and my other figure, and my other figure, and my and my plushie are going home. I love Daeon too. I wish their third ascension outfit was better. Cause like that's supposed to be the fanciest one, but like it felt like they didn't know what to do design-wise, so they just gave like a tummy cutout. It's not as well designed. It's not as balanced as like the first and second stage. Which is it's not like the worst. It's just like, damn. Anyway, yes, we have an Uma. Ma. I would say kind of in the same vein as both of these two. Agnes Tachyon is special little guy. Tachyon's a Blorbo. I wish they had a 5-star. Me too. Like, I know technically Daeon isn't, like, quote-unquote, like, in the meta, you know? But fuck you. Since when do I care about the meta? Being objectified by the horn dogs by proxy? Yeah! Yes! That's exactly, actually. Thank you. You put that towards very unsubbed. What? Are you saying Tachyon is not a Blorbo? I think she's neat. I like that she's crazy. And then playing her actual career story, it's like, oh, she's not even really, like, crazy. She's just... She's kind of quirky because she's so focused, you know? And she's so unapologetically herself. But shorthand, just call it crazy. Agnes's wife material, sheesh! I don't... See, I wouldn't put it because I don't think she would like me. I loved her in the movie. It was really good. I like her career story too, because really, it does a really good job of, like, before you get to know her, you think she's just crazy, you know? And self-centered. And I mean, in a way she is. But, like, as you get to know her, you realize it's like, oh, she's... There's reasons why she does the things she does, you know? Operating Tachyon autism, brother. Autism to autism. I mean, I never finished the fan art I had of Senku from Dr. Stone, Apare from Apare Ranman, and Albedo from Genshin Impact, like, all lined up together, and that was like... That's the autism trio for me. And now there's a fourth! my beloveds, my blorbos. But yeah, I just finished another career run of Tachyons earlier this morning. Tism trifecta, yeah! There's too many. Every Uma is a good Uma. All Umas are best Uma. And you can have your favorites. And maybe you have ones that you're not as, like, attached to, but I like the sentiment that I've seen at least several times of that all Umas are best Uma. I agree. Which makes me more frustrated when, like, I say about how my favorite is Mihono Bourbon, and people are like, and I'm like, all Umas are best Umas. You fuck! You be nice to my robot girl. You be nice to the Auburn Rocket. I'll kill you. And Miss Tekia is so bratty. I love how she only uses time for the crazy. Yeah, she's like, I know what I'm about. I know what I'm interested in. Now either get out of my way or get on the experimentation table. Fuck the guy who dunked on Mihono Bourbon to you without any consider. Thank you. All Umas are best Umas. Yep. She doesn't even eat. Honestly, I think we've all been there before. We get so focused up. I've only eaten half my curry because I've been yapping with you guys. But no, all Umas are best Uma. All women are queens! And if you disagree, I'll put you in the ground, 6 feet under. I think Choco Cat, I think, needs a different tier. And that's gonna be like personal bond, like I was saying at the beginning. If she breathes, she's a thought. I'll kill you! Kibby tier? Well, then I'd have to move Skitty now, wouldn't I? But yes, I have personal bond with Choco Cat. Because obviously, I love all kitty cat characters. I'm very simple like that. But yes, because Choco Cat was on my school stuff. It feels like he's my comrade in arms from way back in middle school. And so anytime I see him, I'm like, oh, there he is! My wartime buddy! And he's just really cute and sweet. And so I always have a fondness for Choco Cat. A bond forged in metaphorical blood. You love Chuckle Cat from the war. We were in the same foxhole together. And for 7 days we stood in there. So me and Chuckle Cat, we're like blood brothers. I'm not sure where to put. He gave you a letter for his wife if you didn't make it up, but he made it out. Commander Yoey. Hup. Dave Schneider always ends up because he's a special little guy, but he also is like a beloved child-in-law, but he's also best boy. And I feel like part of it was how Homestuck did things in general. This always happened was that for a lot of times with characters with such a huge cast, the strength of how you felt towards them tended to fluctuate with like what's going on in the story. And so sometimes I'd be like, yeah, Dave's fine, I guess. And there'd be times where we get more from him. I'm like, actually, Dave's the best character. Which tier Dave would want? Irreparable brain damage. I think he would be best boy. But I would be lying if I didn't say that, like, out of the human characters, Dave was one of my favorites. I like Dirk too, but everything got weird with him. But Dave definitely had to have been one of my favorite of the human characters in Homestuck. And everything with Dave's sprite just made me very emotional all the time. There was a lot going on with him. And again, that feigning that nonchalance, that kind of jokey sarcasm. I don't know why I said it like this. Jokey sarcasm and things like that, and being like an aloof or just silly guy, but underneath really like freaking the fuck out and actually having a lot of emotional maturity. I love that juxtaposition. I will always end up loving the characters that have that juxtaposition. So I was doomed. I was doomed. Jade Besco? Yeah. Yeah. At least for the humans. I did like Roxy a lot, though. I think one of my favorite female characters, though, Terezi probably has to be. Doom just like his timeline. I think Terezi's probably at the top of my tier list. So you already have canon? Yeah, we have. If you've been here long enough, that one that I just played should not even need explanation. But I do know after my unexpected break, the waters have cooled somewhat. Especially because Genshin in general kind of has disappointed me in a lot of ways. But don't let it ever be thought or even considered that there isn't a part of my brain, while currently more dormant, is always at the ready to slobber all over Scaramouche. You got this Scaramouche, and that was all you needed from Genshin. I got some good characters from Genshin. Succubus tier is like, they're a brainworm character that I need to rip apart violently with my hands. Affectionate. Oh, I should have put Leo Foti on here! Fuck! That's one to remember. Like, I tore... When Inazuma first dropped, I tore through it because I thought we would get to him at the end. Little did I know, we were still a long ways away. But we learned so much about him, and just... The theories, the visuals, everything about it was just... Got him in the gacha and I'm free. I think part of it is just also the frustration of having to constantly grind for materials. Because it's like, oh, well, Wanderer's not, like, Scaramouche isn't even really, like, viable unless you get, like, certain, like, equipment and stuff, and that really pissed me the fuck off. Because if nothing else, I had his critical rate at, like, 120%. And the fact that he still wasn't, like, outputting the amount of damage for a level 90 character was very frustrating. I saved for 2 years for him, and I don't blame him at all. Sometimes video games is work, and that's not groovy. Especially because for those who don't know, in Genshin, because you hear like, oh, equipment, so it's probably like part of a gacha mechanic. Not in the way you're thinking. Equipment comes in the form of artifacts, and there's like five different slots. And like if you have all 5, that's part of one set and you get like a bonus thing. There's no... You cannot buy artifacts with microtransactions or in-game currency. They are only available in certain dungeons that you have to complete every time. So it'd be like, defeat this many enemies in like 3 minutes. And then it gives you 3 or 4 of just whatever might be in there of debatable rarity or quality with different stats assigned to it. So say you got like a feather ornament, which is like one of them. You could get the same feather ornament, and one would be like strength plus 43, and the other one would be like energy regain 0.3%. Wildly different things. And you'd have to just keep grinding for artifacts, and the only way you could level up artifacts is with other artifacts. So you have to grind to find one good one with the stats that are good and what you need. And then you'd have to grind for a bunch to feed into that. And it's the worst part of Genshin. Gotta dip out for 10 videos to make dinner. Be back then. Okie dokie. It is by far the worst part of Genshin. Like, I think what was good about Genshin was, at the time, you know, now they're kind of just dropping the ball. It was like story, the characters, and obviously when it came to gameplay, exploration. But the more they focused on combat, because then they could push out, like, they could do more power creep with releasing new waifu characters to roll for. Like, yeah, well, this one's really strong, and blah, blah, blah. Like, the more they kind of, like, you either get the new character, and even then, they might not be super strong, but, like, you really need to grind for artifacts, and that's not fun. The combat isn't fun. It can be in pieces, but when you start making everything just combat focused, and you make combat a chore, this isn't fun anymore. Especially when you start, like, kind of cutting corners on your environment design and your character writing. Like, what are you doing? I believed in you. Moving on. I feel like Kogil, that's Gil Lily. He kind of fits in That's My Child, but also Best Boy. I feel like more so That's My Child, but also I feel like he's independent, but that's also my boy. I hate him. Get out. You hate him? No! Dude, I love Kogil. And I will say, I will put like with an asterisk to it. I only know of his interpretation in FGO. I heard he's in Ilia, like Prism Ilia, but I am not gonna watch that show. I refuse, on principle. I don't like him in Ilia. Well, I don't like Ilia, so... Yeah, I ended up just like secondhand watching it because someone else was watching it in the living room, and I watched an episode and I went, and then never again, and then never again. So I don't know anything about his interpretation in Ilia, but in FGO, that's my boy. I would love to cosplay Kogil still. He's not only a good unit, but also I like the implication that he's from an alternative timeline where Gilgamesh never got over Enkidu's death and did in fact find... It's implied that this is the Gilgamesh that found, like, a way to be young. Yeah, he found the herb of immortality kind of deal, the plant of immortality. And that's why he's very mature, you know, now, is because he's technically older than like the older Gilgamesh is. But like he also has that sorrow to him from never truly getting over Enkidu's death and never truly being able to like move forward. And I think that's really interesting, and I love that as the implications with a lot of his like lines and things like that. And he's also a good unit, and I like that to add to the complexity of like Gilgamesh, because I think OG Gilgamesh, oh, hello? I think OG Gilgamesh, which is, yes, Mongrel Man himself, just kind of boring. Like, yeah, I guess he makes for good villain. It also doesn't help that his design is boring as shit. But like, he's so flat for the most part in FGO. I think just as a character in general for Gilgamesh, FGO brought a lot more body to him. More depth. They didn't even have to be a lot of depth, but it brought depth. And then Kogil was part of that, and like Caster Gil is obviously part of that. The whole Babylon arc. Like, Gil just in like Fate, Stay Night, and Fate Zero, I just want to put him in a dumpster. Like, yeah, I'm glad that now that he's here that the action's getting going, but that doesn't mean I like him. He's a bitch. But like Vesper once read Twilight, I need to watch it to shit on it. I mean, I get that, but there's some things that I'm not gonna subject myself to. Because there are some things I'll be like, yeah, I did sit through this and it sucks, and I'm well informed of this, and Ilia's one of those like, that looks bad, and I'm not interested, so I'm just not going to. Gotta draw a line in the sand somewhere. No, I've unfortunately seen clips of, I've seen clips. Not good. Not good. Anyway. I think I put Deidara from Naruto. Which is an old pull for me. And I think he kind of goes in personal bond. Also, looking at images of him again after so long, it feels like he looks younger than I remembered him looking. But I guess that's just when you get older than a character you liked. What the fuck is Naruto? Shut up! But I think when it came to like anime and stuff, like, because mostly I drew Sonic characters for the longest time. And even then, I like to draw my own characters rather than fan art of characters. But Deidara and like Sasori, mostly Deidara, was like a favorite that I actually drew fan art of for like the first time. I had a very, like, everyone kind of had like a favorite Akatsuki member, and Deidara was mine, you know? I liked his design, I liked his personality. I like that he kept coming back even after getting his arms blown off. BRB? Okay, I'll be here. There's a personal bond with him. And then I tried my best to cosplay him in like middle school, and it wasn't good. But yeah, I will always have a bit of a soft spot in my heart. Like, even though he's not like a blorbo I rotate in my head nowadays, he'll always have a soft spot in my heart, you know? Yeah. Oh, where should Miku go? I mean, I feel like she almost goes under Oshi territory. Like, I don't want that to seem like a disservice to the Oshi category. But, like... Or no, wait. I think she kind of falls under... What is the word I'm looking for? It's not quite role model, but like... Miku and Kamina from Gurren Lagann, kind of... Not the same, but they fulfill a very similar emotional space for me. Like, because I say Miku is more... Miku can be anything. And Kamina is more of like an actual character. But like both having them in my life at the time when I did, you know, both had a very big influence on me. I guess irreparably changed my life would be the most. I would say Miku's changed my life more than Astafel. No offense, Astafel. Cause like, getting into Vocaloid and really loving Miku and everything is what made me want to like be an idol back in the day, which made me want to be a VTuber now. So like, and it's because of that I think I was in the right place to be able to get into VTubers, you know? And also like so much of Miku in the 2000s and stuff when she first was around, a lot of it was secondhand from Nico Nico Doga, but like I feel like because of that I was able to learn like learn more about what it was like to be an otaku as a subculture, because I'd never been part of like a fandom or a subculture kind of thing. Like, I loved Sonic. Never had anyone to talk to about Sonic. I never really was online or anything like that. But, like, there was a shared experience with people all around the world that I was learning about with, like, anime, and particularly Vocaloid was, like, the entry point for that aspect. So, it's very different, you know, in that way. It's like, I probably wouldn't be as big a... I would be a nerd. And I'd be a dweeb. But I wouldn't be as big a nerd or as much of a dweeb as I am if it wasn't for Miku. I wouldn't dream of silly things like becoming an idol if it wasn't for Miku. So, I do think that has irreparably changed me. No going back. Meet my curry. Yeah, I don't know how much more curry I could eat, actually. Yapping too much. Alright. You know who's gonna be in this list. Because he has to be, because he's, of all time, I say with the cardboard cutout to my left and a bunch of the merch to my right. Oh. Hello? There we go. And like, no offense to Takumi, but Dillis is the husband of all time. All time. That is my beloved. That's I was about to say something really cringy sounding. That is me husband. That's my husband, Dillis. Always. No matter what may come in the future or whatever, you know, like, there's a special place in my heart that is Dillis shaped and can only be filled by Dillis. He's my big tsundere husband. He's not even that big. I'm just saying big because he's tall. And I love him. I love him so much. He's just the cutest dang tsundere, and you wouldn't even notice it until, like, you got to know him. Because I didn't even notice it. I didn't even know it. Because I was mad at him at first. Much like with Takumi, I didn't get along with him. But in game, I guess kind of spoilers, but the game's been out for, like, it's 2014. Come on. It's been 12 years. But Dillis is technically, like, the second Guardian boss you have to fight. And Rune Factory 4 was my first time playing a Rune Factory game. And I wasn't in the know about how the best way to do things. I just saw there was more story, so I pursued more story. Even though I should have slowed the fuck down. So his boss fight kicked my ass like 3 times. And in Rune Factory, when you get your ass kicked, you lose like 50% of your money getting treated. And so getting my ass kicked 3 times, it was like 50% of 50% of 50%. And I was pissed. I was pissed. And when he got added to the village, I was like, you owe me so much money. I'm gonna push you in the lake. I'm gonna harass you. I am going to bother you. I'm gonna get my money back from you in blood. I don't care. I don't care. And so I was constantly harassing him. And I think Rune Factory definitely knows what characters appeal to what audience. Because he's so gruff, or even how he describes it himself, crotchety. And he's really, really terrible at socializing. And so it just seems like he's also being, like, mean back to you. But because you end up spending a lot of time with him, because you're trying to push him in a lake, like me, you start to get the little things slowly start to become more apparent, like, oh, he's not upset, he just doesn't know what to say. Or he's focused, so he looks cranky, but he's just like, he's thinking really hard. And then you get to see the really cute stuff. It's like, he gets so shy when he's like the center of attention. And like, he gets so red and cute. And he doesn't know how to handle compliments, and he definitely doesn't know how to deal them out. And he's kind of protective. He cares a lot about the people, and he's had a rough time of it, you know? This is why he doesn't like trust others. And I ended up just being absolutely so terribly smitten with him. Like, before I even realized it. And even though it's just a game, I was so in my head about like, well, you can only get married once, otherwise you have to restart the game and marry someone else. I mean, I've been dating Dillis, but it's like, do I want to get married to Dillis? And then my foster sister, because I can talk myself out of anything, unfortunately, because I can't let myself be happy. My foster sister said a good piece of advice, which was, well, would you be okay if Dillis married someone else? And the answer was no. I loved him so much I became selfish. And so we got married. And I haven't celebrated our anniversary properly. I was doing it for several years. I haven't done it more recent years because I've been so busy doing VTuber stuff. But it's about around in September is when I first got married to Dillis. And then I got another copy of Rune Factory 4 because my save file got deleted because it was being shared. And I cried. I drove to an empty parking lot and I sobbed about it. But I bought myself my own copy and I married him again. And then Rune Factory 4 Special came out and I married him again. And I'll marry him every time, forever. He's goofy. He's shy. He's clumsy. And he's mine. Congrats on your debut in Street Fighter. What are you talking about? I don't play Street Fighter. Anyway, I feel embarrassed now. I know he's a fictional character. I'm not delusional. But I don't think I've ever loved a character as much as I love Dillis. And I think, again, that husband tier comes part of it because I truly believe that if he was real and he could meet me, he would like me too. And I think that's part of the joy about games where you can kind of insert yourself into the main character, and when they're written in such a way that they kind of know what type of people are gonna go after which kind of bachelor or bachelorette, that the options they give you feel natural to you. Ingrid Street Fighter. Okay, hold on. So Ingrid Street Fighter. I'm gonna just try and find an image. I won't watch a... This is a Hime. This is no Jo-sama. Wait, why are we saying this is me? She cute though. I guess she kind of does have my hair in a way. But she also kind of looks like a nun-esque. Anyway, play Rune Factory 4. Play Rune Factory 4. Oh, she's Eldritch? So she's one of my brethren. Hell yeah. She looks like, compared to some of her older art, like the 2D art from the older games, her 3D model now looks younger in a way. Like, I can see how it's the same character, but it also feels like it's a different character. Like, just in between the art. And that's how I would assume you would fight her in game. I will have to watch the trailer another time. We're focusing on different characters. Which, Another World Ends With You. This is the main character, Neku. Neku! And like, I don't feel like he's my child, though in the sequel game, now being older, I have a kind of like paternal fondness for him. And I wouldn't quite say special little guy. I would say he's like best boy. I mean, he's kind of the child, but he's like, he's best boy. He's best boy. Like, maybe he's special little guy. I think he's special little guy, yeah. I need to play please play Twilly! Please, 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 please. It's one of my favorite games. This is the takeaway from stream today. Play Rune Factory 4, play The World Ends With You. Okay? Then get back to me on that. And I think people think I'm kidding when I say, like, if you play these games, I want to hear about it. I legitimately just want to hear about it. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear, like, any interesting things that happen for you. I want, like, if you're just in between playing it, I want to hear theories about what you think is going to happen next. I want to hear it. I'm not joking. I'm, like, holding up a knife, like, I'm not joking. Please tell me. But yeah, I think World Ends With You kind of falls into the same thing of Rune Factory. Part of the reason I want more people to play it is because I think they're very overlooked, despite being fantastic games, I think. And I want them to be successful, and I also want actual official merch to be made, even if it's years after the fact. Father, do I count as a character? No, my son. You are my son. I guess you would go under that's my child, but you are my son. You're not a character. You are outside the bonds of ranking. You cannot be ranked. You're priceless. Hi, Lizer. Uchuchuu. But yes, play The World Ends With You, play Rune Factory 4, come back and talk to me about it. Okay? I want it to be blurble. You're my child, though. I guess you are also my special little guy. You're not best boy? Ooh, that's switch. I gotta turn down my fan. I keep getting sweaty and then not sweaty. My body can't decide what temperature it's at. Nah? Damn. Not being able to find it for the DS, then forgot about it for yeah, it wasn't, even when it first came out, it wasn't an easy game to find, because just a lot of places didn't carry it. But, as I was saying earlier, there's now, like, the final remix available for the Switch. But if you can, I very much strongly suggest that you play it on its original hardware, which is the DS. If you can. If you cannot, that is okay. Buy Final Remix. The Final Remix is definitely way, way, way easier. And like it's taken out some of the mechanics, because it has to, because it's different hardware. But you know, that's it. All the story and the characters are still intact, obviously. And that's the most important part to experience. I will say, and part of it is because obviously I'm old hat at the game at this point, but I did blow through Final Remix really fast. I already knew what I was doing, but like, the gameplay was definitely crazy easy compared to how it originally was. Oh, yeah. Hachiware. I love Chikawa. Not just as a franchise, but I mean like Chikawa themselves. I love Chikawa and Hachiware and Usagi and Shisa and Furuhonya. And and Rako, Kurimanju, and the Yoroi-sans. But like, instead of putting a bunch of them onto the list, I put Hachiware because he is definitely my favorite of them. And he is best boy. He is best boy. He's just... He lives in a cave, and he works so hard for, like, his camera and things like that, and he loves his friends, and he's always trying his best! And when things are bad or scary, he tries really hard not to cry. He's like, no, I can do this! And he's always helping out Chikawa! And they're best friends! And it probably also helps that he's a cat! And I have a soft spot for cats! Oh, I gotta stretch. Meh. I'm going at this much slower than... I had a feeling this would happen, but... Alright. Estelle from Tales of Vesperia. Woo. I also would put her in Best Girl. I love her. Her and Shiki kind of occupy, like, the same space. They fill that certain character type that I really like. Especially with, like, female characters. And I don't exactly know how to describe it. And I'm not saying, like, they're the only type of female characters I like, but there's a very... I'm very attached to Shiki and Estelle, who are kind but clumsy, but stubborn, but mean well. I don't know how to describe it. They're well written, I think. Because I think when you look at either of them, especially at the beginning of their respective games, they feel very flat and one note at first, and then you get to know them and you realize, like, they're not. They're, like, actually well-written female characters, you know? And, like... I don't know. I love them both. They're both best girls. Suka, welcome back! Uchuchuu, what are you having for dinner, by the way? Alright, from Fire Emblem. Kana is literally my child? That's my little baby boy? I had him with Takumi. That's my baby. That's my baby. He's a mama's boy, and he's young, and he's sweet, and he likes flowers, and I love him. And I mostly put the male version of Kana rather than the female version of Kana because the male version is the one they gave me. So that's how I got to know him. But it feels crazy that there's some people who... There's a lot of people who just don't like the Fates characters in general, but they're like, I don't know, he's like... They're like, Kana kind of creeps me out. They're like too perfect of a child, and I'm like... Fuck you. That's my special little boy. That's my specialist little boy. I'm sorry he's well-mannered and loves his mommy. I'm sorry that's upsetting to you. On a Chinese homestyle cooking cake, like, oh, so it's scrambled duck eggs with Hunanese, pickled peppers, and garlic chives, and sauteed pea shoots. The seitan, what's a seitan puff? Seitan? Seishan? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what that would be like. It sounds very fancy. I'm like trying to picture the different ingredients in my brain and then like put them together to get like an idea of a flavor profile, but I just can't seem to, I can't picture it. Wheat gluten is used as a meat. Oh, okay. And it's a puff. It's a puff. Oh yeah. You always make such nice meals. Alright, I gotta increase the click at which we're doing this. It's already been almost 2 hours. We have so many characters. We have so many characters! I always think that I was like, I need all of them, otherwise I'm gonna go through it real fast, but it's like, blah, 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 blah. We'll take a picture, thank you! But Kuromi is, again, personal bond, I feel like. Because I always wish I could have that more confident, impish attitude. I mean, I try to do. I know the impish aspect is more natural, but the confidence, but then, like, her fashion and stuff relates a lot to mine. I see myself in Kuromi. So, Kuromi is a personal bond. Third, The World Ends With You character on this list, Joshua Kiryu. Irreparably changed me. I don't even know how to describe the way that I'm a different person because of Joshua. And I'm not even sure if it's like for the better, but I am inherently different. I am fundamentally a different person than I was before I met him. Hot take, Joshua will put himself in the succubus here? Probably. But he ain't making the list. I am. No, he is one of those characters that even if I'm not actively making fan art or stuff of, or like actively talking about, he permanently occupies part of my brain at all times. And I think that's also part of, like, if he was a character outside of The World Ends With You, he probably wouldn't, but it's because he is who he is within The World Ends With You that fully sets him as a brain worm. That is a brain worm. That is a brain worm that has telekinetic powers. Make a compelling case for brain worm tier. I mean, they changed me. Right, oh, that's my child. Miho no bourbon. Miho no bourbon. Miho no bourbon. That's my girl. And she gets sad when people call her a cyborg, because she's not a cyborg. And she tries really hard to interact with people, and she gets really sad because people misunderstand her or get scared of her. And she has the sweetest smile, and she wants to get a triple crown. It's the only thing she's ever wanted for herself. And everyone just told her that she could never do it because she doesn't have the physical abilities to. Like, you're much more suited to be a sprinter. And she's like, well, how about no? It's like the one thing that she, like, does, like, for herself, you know? It's the one thing she really wants, and she'll dig her heels in about. Yeah, and then Rice Shower took the third crown instead of her, and it's sad, but I like that her and Rice Shower are, like, girlfriends. I like that they're both socially awkward, but very driven. And they're socially awkward in different ways. Rice Shower has anxiety. Mihono Bourbon has autism. Horse Scout Pals, yeah. And I like that she watched, like, spaceship anime with her papa, and she wanted to become as fast as the starships. That was her inspiration. She's like, I know it's not possible, but to think that I could run and be as fast as, like, a light cruiser. That's so sweet. You go, my little starship. They're dynamic. It is really cute. I love in the Halloween, the support card, Bourbon's Halloween support card event, that they go to the party together holding hands. It's so cute. Alright, quick one from a Trigun. Millie Thompson is best girl. Ash is a fact. Ash is a fact. And I'm including the Trigun, the original anime, because Stampede has been a letdown. And Millie's cute in it, but it's, I guess, but like Stampede just feels like a different, I guess it is technically like a different continuity, but it's like, this isn't Trigun. This is like, someone made a bunch of fan characters that they put in the Trigun setting, but none of these characters are like the characters they say they are. This is not Vash. This is not Wolfwood. This is not Millie. This is Millie. Oop. That's Millie. And I love her. And she's so tall, and she has that giant, like, I don't even know what kind of gun it is. It shoots those big old, like, cross things. I don't know what they are, but it's dope. And she's great, and I love her. Alright. Trapping gun. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you would call it, because it's just it shoots out these things that kind of deploy into these big iron crosses, and then it's just the weight and the size of them that just go boom and smack into things. So it's not like she's shooting a bullet or a missile. I don't know what you would technically call it, but it's great. And she one-hands that giant gun. It's beautiful. I love you, big women! Anyway, Namazu Toshiro from Tokonambu. That's my baby. That is my baby. That's my boy. That's my little guy. I felt like I could put a lot of Tokonambu characters in, because I think Tokonambu as a franchise, even if its results don't seem as apparent, has also just irrevocably changed me. But I also knew that, like, if I included all the Tokonambu characters I enjoy, it'd be here a while, and I already had, like, saved a lot of characters. Right. Oh, okay, Nanachi! Special little guy. I think Nanachi falls under best boy / girl, even though they are not a boy or a girl. They are best they. They. Best Nanachi, yes. Made in Abyss is not for the faint of heart, and I do not say that in a challenging way. I say this as a I don't recommend it way. It's very rough to get through. Like, I like the characters, I like the inherent mystery of the world building, but a lot of the story beats themselves are very visceral and unpleasant. So I would never recommend Made in Abyss, I think, to anyone. But if you do get an interest in it, read up on it first before you don't go in blind watching it. Like most people say, like, don't spoil yourself. 'Cause I don't want you to get surprise scared by, like, the gore and the violence. Made in Abyss in its fan wiki and Deep Exhale. Yeah. That's a no for me. Yeah, I do. I do feel like I think Made in Abyss is one of the only anime that I had to walk away while some of the violence was happening because I became so viscerally nauseous. But Nanachi is the best. It's very rough. It's very sad. It's very violent. I should put Fapta here! Ah, damn it. Fapta is also best girl. But, so I don't recommend it. I don't recommend Made in Abyss. I'm so interested in the mystery of it. And I want to know what happens with the characters. But, like, I don't recommend it to anyone, okay? I'm not saying that, and again, I'm not saying it as a challenge. I know, like, some folks might think that, like, okay, I'm gonna go. Please, 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 if you take any interest in it, please research it first. And make a decision based on your comfort. Okay? Okay. Wolfwood, I feel like, goes in that beloved child-in-law, but also special little guy, but also beloved child-in-law, because I think Vash fits the special little guy. Like, he's not my child, but he's, like, my special little guy, and because of that, Wolfwood can be the beloved child-in-law. Like, if there was no Vash, I probably wouldn't like Wolfwood as much, but they're inherently a pair, you know? Like, this is not to say one's better than the other, but, like, you cannot have one without the other. Like, what makes them a likable character is inherently tied to, like, their other half. That's true with Saray and Mikleo on this list, so they're also... The Karate, oh yeah, I know Muteki. She's cool. She's funny. But, yes, Wolfwood is my beloved son-in-law. My beloved child-in-law. Vice Shower, that is also... I feel like Vice Shower is a combination of my child, but also, like, my little sister. Because she calls me Big Sister in-game, and that melted my heart immediately. I gotta organize these a bit more of, like... My babies. My babies. My babies. Big sis, right? She's like, thanks for believing in me, big sis. And I was like, I'll do anything for you. I feel like Sig from Puyo Puyo. He kind of fits in. That's my child, but he's more like, that's my boy. He's like best boy. He's best boy, I feel like, tier. Which is, it could be such a subtle distinction. But I don't feel like I have motherly feelings, I guess, or paternal feelings for Sig. I think he's very cute, but like, the I will protect this bean and try and give them as best of life as possible isn't the same way for him. I want to know something. Uchuchuu, what do you want to know? Oh gosh, I forgot there was a tier I wanted to... I mean, I guess he could technically... What tier is Leon to you? I didn't make the tier yet that Leon is in, but he's in the list. So you're gonna have to wait and find out. This is an interesting... This is Milisar. If literally anyone... He is, like, probably the most... obscure poll on this list. I've never met another person who played the game he's from. Like, not in person. I only played the game once through, and it was like story-based, so it was pretty long and things like that. And I feel bad because he only comes in as part of your party towards the end. But Milisar is like his best boy, but the fact that I met him in a one-off game, like not a one, it's like it was a spin-off of a series that never made it to the States, just the spin-off was in the States. And he's only there for like the last third of the game. But, and I can't even remember all the details, but he has lived in my brain ever since. So I feel like that kind of puts him at like he's best boy, but also kind of puts him at like special little guy territory. Oh, that's a brain worm? Yeah, I might make a new one. Brain worm. I don't want that to be gray. I want that to be like a different color. Now I gotta change all the colors! It happened, it's brain. No, I don't. Millisar is precious to me, and I almost want to replay the game, even though it would be like. There's also that feeling because it was such an older game. It's called Summon Night Twin Age. And like, part of me just wants to leave it as it's like time capsule in my brain. You know, because it was all so just connected and condensed into that experience that was just my own. And like, I don't want to like reopen it in a way. But I would like to see Millisar again. Of course, he's one of those kind of cyborg-esque characters, which I'm a sucker for. But yeah, Summon Night. Night spelled like N-I-G-H-T, which I always get confused with Summon Night, K-N-I-G-H-T. But Summon Night is the name of the franchise. Twin Age is the spin-off game. So Summon Night Twin Age. You don't need to play the other Summon Night games, which is good because they're not available in English. And I have never played any of the other Summon Night games. But I found myself very invested. And I liked the gameplay. Used a lot of the touchscreen. But it was definitely, I don't know, it was a unique experience that really stuck with me. And in order to get all of it, I would have to play it multiple times, but there's something about finishing like an RPG, like experiencing it, that like there's ones that you don't want to play again. Not because it was bad or you don't think it wouldn't be enjoyable, but there's something about like the experience you had that it feels disingenuous almost to play it again. It's like, well, my save data is my legacy of this story I went on. My experience. So I don't want to start over from the beginning. I want this to be my memento. Also, not Uchuchuu. Why are you launching missiles at you? You've been here. Yes, Millisar is a brain worm. I knew you once, and I've never forgotten you. I've never ever forgotten you. I should see if there's a wiki. Because I'm sure there's other people who are more fans of the franchises themselves who fill in a lot of stuff. Let thy memory of the distant Blorbo be unsullied by new playthroughs. Yeah! Oh no, it's interesting, there's sometimes those games that like, it feels like almost you're the only one that experienced them sometimes. So, I just want to preserve that feeling I had, as is. Like, distilled as a moment in time. Shoot! I should make a tier for, like, past crushes? Because I don't think Yamato fits in those. I guess I would just say personal bond now then. I had a big, stupid, ugly crush on him. He was my first crush ever. I feel almost guilty because I do not feel, having rewatched Digimon more recently, I don't feel the same bond that I had felt back then. And I know! I admitted to it! I'm sorry! But I do think he definitely... He was the shark fin in the water for how much I was gonna love tsunderes. Like, that was the distant shark fin of trouble yet to come. But I think just even if I don't have as much of an attachment to him nowadays, it's still a personal place in my heart, personal bond. Imagine not being a tsundere, just in denial. I know you are quoting our shared Oshi. I mean, that's how they are, tsundere. Tsunderes don't recognize that they're tsunderes. They're just in denial. Groudon is my special little guy. And I always want him to win. And he's better than Kyogre. I don't share chicken. Listen, bud, there's 200,000 of us. You're gonna have to learn. Anyway, Groudon's my special little guy. He's better than Kyogre. I taught him Return because I loved him so much. I named him Fireboy in my game. Kyogre slander? I'm not saying Kyogre's bad. I'm just saying Groudon's better. Groudon's better. And he should win everything forever, and I like his big bulldozer face. See, but that's part of the thing, is everyone's biased towards Kyogre because they also didn't make the legendaries equal. They made Groudon naturally weak to Kyogre because he's just ground type. Everybody bullies my boy! My steam shovel-faced boy! But he's my special little guy. Once I got him, he never left my party. He's level 100. I taught him Return because we loved each other so much. And I liked when Fisher landed. And he's a big lizard! He's a big fire lizard! Fuck you! You people don't deserve Godzilla. You don't understand the unrivaled beauty of Big Lizard. I thought I taught you better. I don't like using any legend. I guess nowadays I feel that way, but like back in the day, it was a different story, you know? But Groudon's my special little guy. He's my special little guy. I always want him to win, and he never gets a win. It's not fair. Sonia says, Zygarde would never leave my party. Aw, see? Yeah, but Groudon made it super sunny everywhere, and I don't like the heat. This is well. Like Kyogre made it almost completely flood. So like, I mean, the whole thing about the game was that there needs to be a balance between both. But I like Groudon, and I just naturally kind of dislike Kyogre, not because of anything inherently with them, but because my stupid fuck stepbrother constantly beat me up with his Kyogre, and of course Groudon just naturally is weak to Kyogre, and that made me sad. Shoot, where do I put Pan? She's a special little guy, but she's like, I would like to hold your hand, please. The flood is fine. I am naturally unsinkable. I'm very sinkable. You're gonna have to come fish me up then. I also should put 2B on this list. Damn it. Not succubus, but something different. What was it? I would like to hold your hand. You know what? Pan and to be occupy the same kick-ass ladies. It's a special tier just for ladies. Why is it formatted like that? Okay. It's all just stuck to this. Whatever. Kick-ass ladies. Hold on, I'm gonna run out of colors. Respectful distance. You're so right. But Pan goes under kick-ass ladies. Ladies who have like that kind of noble heart and who could absolutely shred you to pieces with their bare hands. Her and 2B kind of fall into that same area. Just use APA? Wait, what? Kick-ass ladies have like their own special category. They're my favorites. I am not worthy of their time. And if they chose to kill me, I trust it's for the best. AP, is that not the format? I don't know, I'm sorry. Laharl, I feel like that's my child, but he has had such he's done such irreparable damage to me. He's from Disgaea. Or Disgaea. He's from the first one, and then you get to see him be a bit older in D2. But I mostly wanted to put the first one, because the first one is the one that I have the most familiarity with. Like, I own the game on DS, and I have the official world book, and I have the manga, and I have the whole anime on DVD. I do not want to babysit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to babysit Laharl either. But I do have a lot of, like, maternal instinct towards Laharl, but I also feel like that's not fair because also I recognize his mom is his mom. And, like, she's an important part of the story, even though she's no longer around. But I think also Laharl just kind of set a tone for like a specific type of character that I adore. And it's those haughty, big-egoed, like, child kings, kinda, I guess? But particularly demon kings, and he is, like, the overlord of demons. Like, if I... Who's the husband here? Takumi. I mean, like, Azazel was essentially, like, that personality type character. You know? Punchy, short, angry, kinda immature. Authority. But still somehow baby. Even though they would kill you for saying that they are baby. That's just Laharl is like the cornerstone of that. Nothing but except for my Demon King. And I even cosplayed him once. Me and B made the outfit together. I'd love to do it again. But no, if I could... If I could... shapeshift... Or like... If I... became like... a corporate VTuber... for some reason, I think the type of character I would propose would be Laharl. Like, he is the example. Why Dogtooth? He is like what I... If I were a boy VTuber and not a Myobi VTuber, I would want to be Laharl. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it better than that. Kosame is from Appare Ranmen. He is also a beloved child-in-law, not because he isn't also a special little guy, but because he is inherently tied to Appare. They make each other better. They are a pair, do not separate. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Huh. But especially because, like, when you first see Laharl, you see him all curled up asleep, and you see how small and fragile he is. And then you get the big personality afterwards, but I don't know. There's just... there's a lot good with him, and we don't have time to get into it anymore. The stream's already gone a long time. Aizen! He's almost Lance and Succubus, but not quite. He almost fits beloved child-in-law because of his relation to Zestiria, but it's not because of, like... I don't know how to explain it. Like, if Zestiria was the character, the game Tales of Zestiria was the character, he would be the beloved child-in-law to it. Instead of just one character from Zestiria, it's the entirety of Zestiria. Anyway, this is Kiragi, my baby, my other baby. Kana and Kiragi are brothers. They're from Fire Emblem. They look a lot like their dad. Oh, let's see. I need a row above. I remember now. Baby girl. There is a whole section of characters that I now have a fondness for, and they are exclusively just baby girls. Like, the fondness is tied to the fact that they are baby girls. Like, they're not characters necessarily I would go out of my way to get, like, merch of. Or I would say it's like, that's my favorite character, but I have an inherent attachment because they become my baby girls. And playing Resident Evil 4 with you guys, Leon became my baby girl. That's just what happened. I don't make the rules, except I do. Oh, now I gotta change these colors. I gotta put these in, like, order again. I need to. My brain needs me to. Oh, you can't read that. Hold on. So Leon Kennedy is a baby girl. And I know at least one other character in this mix that's baby girl. Shinji Ikari is my child. I relate a lot to Shinji as a child with complex feelings about their parents and crushing depression, and who felt like they couldn't get out and everything is bad forever. He was my favorite character in Evangelion, and he gets bullied and hurt for no gosh dang reason. In story and by viewers. I am not taking any arguments at this time. Don't ever talk to me or my son again. Utatane Pico is a Vocaloid who is no longer being manufactured, which is very sad, and I got very sad. But I would say Pico has a personal bond to me because it was like 2010s when you really got into the I guess you'd say the golden era of Vocaloid, and we had so many Vocaloids and Utaus that had come out, and so it's around that time of where you want to find your personal favorite. Because, like, you could say, my favorite is Miku, my favorite is Rin. And, you know, as you get older, you find that, like, it's fine if your favorite is Miku. Or, like, that you just like a bunch of them. It's fine. But, like, when you still are a bit younger and you want to define who your favorite is in something, Kiko was mine. I loved his design. I loved his voice. And I always have a soft spot for the underdogs. Shinji is such sun material. No, he deserves better than everything that he gets put through, Shinji. So I'm your mother now. The internet has done terrible things to my wet cat. This one right here? This little blue friend? This little delight ball of sunshine that's so happy to see you? The internet has done terrible things to Vaporeon, and I will never forgive it. You leave my wet fish cat alone. Justice for wet... Hashtag justice for wet cats! Velvet is a kick-ass lady. Tales of Berseria, Velvet, kick-ass lady. I gotta get going. Gotta get this up a better click. I would say Venti is Brainworm. He's right up there. He's such a good character. I love him. Not a femboy. Which I didn't think that I would ever have to explain. But not a femboy. But fantastic character. I almost put the Succubus, but I'm not... I don't want to, like, tear him apart so much. But I do rotate him in my head so much. But also special little guy from Genshin, Albedo. I do like that I got this picture from his promotional, like, character teaser. He's painting and he just throws his paintbrush away. It's like, because I love that he's, like, has such a calm and collected, like, appearance and demeanor about him, but he's very much like a wild card. I don't know how to describe it. He's very unpredictable, and he actually has a bit of a mischievous streak that I think fits so well with his otherwise, like, aloof personality. It's very cute. He's also, like, one of the two characters, two of the male characters that I would say is the most romantically coded towards the player character. It's him and Zhao. They have a lot of these story beats that are very otome game-like. And I think that naturally also has a bit of fondness. Bunny Rabbit, or Bunny de Coulette, because she did get married. Kick-ass lady. I want her to be back in a literal Sonic anything. Please. Please? Please. 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 Yeah, she married Antoine a long time ago now, but I almost want to put Hanayo as baby girl, because she, like, is a baby girl, as opposed to, like, how we usually use baby girl. I would say she's more of a baby girl than Leon. She's my favorite from Love Live, but she also I have, like, a personal bond with. Yeah, but she feels baby girl, right? You just want to protect her. I love her. She's so cute. She brings back some old memories. She works so hard to be an idol, and she's so passionate about being an idol, and I love her, and she's my favorite. And she's my favorite! Okay, you all know where Yuri Lowell's going. Fork found in kitchen. The succubus who bewitched my penis. In the trash now! Razor is my baby. That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my baby. It's my baby. My baby. Imano Tsurugi. I feels like a combination of my special little guy and also my child. I think more so like, that's my child. Up there with Nama. Baby wolf son. Yes. Honestly, like, it feels like if... he feels like he could be the child of me and Dillis, because it's like, just, I don't know. The kind of awkward social patterns. The long hair. And then just coincidentally, he has a little scar on his cheek in the same place Dillis does. Oshi. Oshi. Present Valentine, Uchuchuu! Maybe Dillis and Razor family, so yeah! We can all work on the farm and Sophia together. Cloud is a baby girl. Who the fuck is that? Oh, what did you like to know, Tatsunoko? You hear me talk about him enough. Check out this bug I found. Gavis Battle, Hollow Stars English, but you should also go vote for him on the current Tumblr Sexiest Jester poll for 2026. He recently defeated Pomni. I want to see his ass go all the way to the finals. Vote for Gavis Battle today. Pedo gets the lone picture frame above the mantle. Don't worry, there's someone else coming in there. It does feel particularly special, though. I did like this picture I used for him. He's so happy. He beat Pomni. Everyone's been rallying behind him. I love it. It's just... And it feels like it's not unexpected because it happens all the time with Betel. That he's so gosh damn lovable. Like, anyone who gives him a few minutes, like, to get to know him or get to watch his content, he's just so fucking lovable that you can't help but want to cheer for him. You want him to win everything forever. He's just... lovable, charming, funny. Gold star for being the Lord's prettiest boy. Got 5 fandoms, yes. And a lot of those people in those fandoms have been showing up for stream, like, oh! It's, honestly, it's like, I feel like I am constantly praising Betel, but like when people finally do tune in, like even if you don't become like a super VTuber fan, but when people I introduce him, they like, oh, I get it. You know? I don't think there's anyone in the world who could hate Gavis Betel. Not naturally, anyway. Like, you would never naturally hate him. Like, not as a knee-jerk or like... Because, like, sometimes there's people like, oh, I really don't get along with this person kind of thing, and just we have 2 different personalities. No, Betel is one of those people that, like, you just naturally have fondness for. Even if you're not friends, even if he's not your Oshi. This is just a good guy. This is just a nice little guy. And it's why he's the leader of Vanguard, because he's really the heart of Vanguard. I hate him so... Yeah, okay, Tatsunoko. I hate him already. Yeah, okay, Dogtooth. Shadow. See, Shadow almost feels like a personal bond too, but like more. I would say he kind of goes into... No, he irrevocably changed me. What am I thinking? Flagrant lies happening in the Myobitan chat. I see. The stars do nothing but eat hot chip and lie. And be bisexual. No, there's even like my own OCs that wouldn't exist without Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, I'm inherently a different person because of Shadow the Hedgehog. Please irreparably change me. Lucina is my child. I mean, kind of literal, because my first playing of Awakening, which was my first Fire Emblem game, I fell into the Crom marriage trap by accident, but I love Lucina and I love Morgan, my daughter and my son, and I love that they are siblings. And yes, thank you for your service, Shadow T Hedgehog. Yes. See, this is a complicated one, because Saray and Mikleo, one of them is beloved child-in-law, and one of them is that's my child, but they're inseparable. He said with Suki bar. Do not separate. So yeah, he totally looks like a crocodile here, and that's totally what I meant. Hey, I have a fondness for Vector, but I'm not a different person because of Vector. I don't know, I feel like they almost fit. We'll come back to them. I gotta think more about it, but Kamina is irreparably changed me. Wish there's a way to notate bonded pairs on a tier list. Like, yeah! See, like, I feel like beloved child-in-law should be down one more, but no, Kamina has made me a lot of the person I am today. And Kamina is the reason I got through a lot of tough times. I mean, obviously there's, like, friends and people who cared about me, but, like, as a role model, believe in the me that believes in you, that really, it might sound cheesy, but it really did help me a lot. And Kamina is Kamina's the type of person I want to be. Kamina has and continues to do a lot of the heavy lifting on people's mental... Yes. Kamina will... Even when I get sad and I feel like I've ultimately let him down, you know, I still feel inspired of, like, Kamina would believe in me. So even if I can't believe in myself, and that's the same attitude that I bring to this of, like, you guys believe in me, my stars believe in me, so even if I think I'm the worst or I can't do it, you believe in me, and I use your belief to be strong. And I got that mentality from Kamina. Imagine Kamina doing, you are a regular guy! Yeah. You can exist in a space! I believe in you believing yourself. Thank you. Because, you know, it's always hard for me, and I think it's hard for a lot of people who struggle with self-esteem like I do. Like, we understand that the right thing to do is self-love, and that you should believe in yourself, and, like, logically we get that. But, like, I can't make myself like me. I can't find a reason to. And so, it's really hard to hang in there or stick up for myself a lot of times because of that. But, you know, having a character I really do like who embodies the ideals of, like, the kind of person I would want to be, say, believe in the me that believes in you, I can believe in him. If I can't believe in myself, I can believe in him. And I can push through. And I think that's wonderful. Sayleaf, I fit under, like, child, even though he's not my child, and I don't want to disrespect his actual parents. Sigurd and Deirdre. Row, fight the power, but I have such a gentle affection for... I guess he'd be more of a best boy. He'd be more of a best boy. Maybe Kogyo should be moved on. Either way. Bridget. I chose the older Bridget because that's older biscuit design, because that's how I first encountered them. But yeah, Bridget was more of the fact that that this was a character type? And it was a character type that I discovered I needed more of. Stat. I will hydrate. Uchuchuu, welcome. I'm trying to get through these a bit faster because I took too long talking about all of them. And now we've almost been here for 3 hours. Sorry, and Make Leo should be in the same. And like, Groudon is he is a special little guy! He's my special little guy! 24-hour stream, I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I at least put Vash right now in special little guy Blorbo. I feel like, okay. See, I don't want to put Mikleo in like beloved child. I'm gonna put them both in special little guy. But like, part of what makes them special is the fact that you cannot separate. Do not separate. Might have been long, but it's fun and important. Thank you! I hope some of these series that I've mentioned, if you haven't ever checked them out before, you give them a chance. 26, 27, take it or leave it. Guys, no! This isn't just a matter of, like, I have other things that require me to be responsible. 28, you have to, no! Oh gosh. Where do I put Grell? Because I feel like they have... No, I'll be real. They've irreparably changed me. Maybe it's done their time, the 24-hour shit. Hey, you guys can't make a deal that concerns me! But I'm the one at stake, hey! Hey! Love her. And Kiru! That's a good one. Good. It's like a combination of a brainworm and personal bond, but I think Enkidu's more of a brainworm. I love them. I love their hair. Enkidu's just beautiful, but also like, it's what got me interested in like the Legend of Gilgamesh and learning more about Enkidu as like a mythological character and things like that is because of FGO Enkidu. But I love Enkidu in general, and like I can't get into it too much. I can't. But you know, one of those types of characters that were artificially created and like are meant to serve a function, but end up having humanity within them, whether they realize it or not. I'll always be a sucker for Zhao Zhao! Baby girl. Almost succubus, but baby girl. That's my baby girl. I love him. Mwah. I wish to give him a wee kiss on the forehead! And whenever I see his back, I always feel protected in a way. I know he would always keep me safe. Which baby girl feels more like I should keep them safe, but like... I don't know. Zhao is simultaneously a baby girl, but also... he would keep me safe. We'd keep each other safe. Rama, I feel like, is... personal bond. Because he was one of the first characters I saw... because I was looking at the FGO character design books that one of my roommates has. And he's one of the ones that I saw that got me into FGO because he's so pretty. And he's got some wide hips. And I wanted him so bad, and I got him. And he's just, I like him. I love that he's a wife guy. He just loves his wife so much. Rama is in the Ramayana? Yeah. Sita Doko! Yeah. I love characters who are wife guys. It's so sweet. He just loves his fucking wife! And he's very pretty, and he's very strong, and he's great. Bennett is my beloved child-in-law. Like, he's also my child, but he's also my child-in-law because he's married to Razor. I am not taking any questions at this time. Ooh, Berserku. Feel like he almost falls into succubus, but he doesn't take up as much of my... So I think he goes under special little guy. Do love him, though. I wish I could sit on his back, like, nestled in the boa, and then just have him carry me. Carry my ass back. Dude, he never left my FGO setup. Him and Marie Antoinette were in there forever. Laffy best boy. Almost my child, because that's a baby. But I feel like that's disingenuous in a way. It has to do with the story. But yes, Laffy best boy. Oh no, I use Berserku all the time. He is my go-to as well. See, Birdo is... I feel like irreparably changed me, but in such a smaller way. So I don't think it quite is on the level of everybody else here. But I guess also Grell doesn't fit on there. You know what? No. Birdo might be baby girl, but also Grell might be baby girl. Now that I've seen who else is in the irreparably changed me, I'm making it more difficult to... And then Fugochi. I wouldn't be a VTuber now if it wasn't for Fugochi. Even in graduation, you're still my Oshi. Yeah. That's a wrap! Yeah! My throat feels sore. I yapped a lot. I feel like some could be moved around a bit, but... at the same time, like... this feels right. Obviously more ones in the lower tier. The ones on the higher tier... I think Kick-Ass Ladies might be one below Brainworm. Yeah. Tier list invalid since no vector. Well, this isn't your tier list. You can make your own tier list. But it's interesting to see, like, the breakdown. Like, so many ended up being in, like, my special little guy, my Blorbos, and, like, my child. So many in my child. Like, ones that are, like, my weird personal bonds with them. And then, like, Oshi, only 2. Husband, only 2. Like, these are the upper echelons. They have to do something pretty amazing to me, for me personally, to get there. Alright, let me see if I can save this. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna hide it, just so in case anything pops up. Download image. Alright, I want to make sure that downloaded properly. Because before, I've had it... It did! Let's go. I'm gonna post that on Discord and Twitter, Blue Sky. I didn't expect this to end up being like a 3-hour stream. My goodness, my goodness. But I also makes me realize I got stuff I gotta do. I gotta do stuff. Fuck! I always gotta do stuff. I don't want to do stuff anymore. Just 25. No! I wanna... I wish I could get a break from all my other stuff. Like, let me just do my streams and then rest. You need a Myobi yap emoji? I did certainly a lot of it. I guess the oh yes also kinda. You did conduct a Femboy 101 course in the I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate. But yeah, play Rune Factory 4. Play The World Ends With You. Be nice to Groudon. Believe in me that believes in you. Okay? I wish I could get like a percentage check on like what percentage of characters did you recognize from this list? Like each of my stars. Because I feel like they don't feel like obscure characters to me, like the majority, but I find out when I talk to you guys so much that like I end up liking a lot of series that you've never heard of. Like Summer Night Twin Age I knew was gonna be obscure. I knew that one was gonna be obscure. But like Yuri Lowell, I did not think so many people wouldn't know him. The World Ends With You, there's not as many people as you think know it. It's interesting. It's interesting that, because like they say the audience reflects the streamer, but so often of the time games I play or things I talk about is your guys' first introduction to those things, and I think that's really interesting. Haven't watched any series properly in 3 years? Well, a lot of these are video games. You know, what the hell is that exactly? I don't know, I just find it so fascinating. More studies need to be done. I'm gonna, oh, my face actually hurts from smiling. I need some rest before I do all my other stuff. Let me, hold on. Meep. Let me hide that, because my Twitch tab is open on the other side. Let's see if there is anyone that we know streaming currently. Oh, you know what? We do got some people. I'm gonna send you to Brit Blue. They are doing art right now. They're drawing someone from Code Vein. I have not played Code Vein. So I'm gonna send you their way. Give them an Uchuchuu. Be well behaved. I know you will. Thank you for listening to me yap about my favorite characters. Because there's a large chunk of them that aren't well known, it makes me happy when I can talk about them, because I don't really get a chance to otherwise. I'm glad you guys have fun. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. I'll post the tier list on Discord and online. Let's go to our ending credits. Nope, wrong. I can read what's on my own buttons. Totally. Yes. But I will see you all Friday. I believe that is when we're starting Metal Gear Solid 3. So you're definitely going to want to tune in for that. I will see about getting the rest of the Metal Gear Solid 2 VODs out. Processed and out. I won't see you tomorrow. But make sure you keep up to date with me. Join the Discord. Follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky. Take care of yourselves. Believe in me that believes in you. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for being here, okay? Thank you, Tatsunoko. Alright, bye-bye!